Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Aliens: Dark Descent. In this tactical real-time strategy, you will command a squad of hardened colonial marines to stop a terrifying xenomorph outbreak on a distant, unwelcoming planet. You will lead your soldiers in real-time combat against iconic xenomorphs, rogue operatives from devious Wayland Yutani Corporation, and a host of horrifying creatures new to the Alien franchise. So here you are, the commander, and soldiers are your weapon. With their help, you will infiltrate large open levels and annihilate enemies with your squad. Tread carefully as your foes will adapt their tactics to your actions. Monsters will be hunting you down, and the death here is permanent. You know, like the hunger of your cat, or the noises your neighbors make. So if you have a handsome soldier you don't want to lose, you might want to put it behind the others. Although be warned that the aliens can ambush you from behind as well. Dark Descent is an original story filled with iconic xenomorph creatures, ranging from facehuggers to Praetorians, alien queens, and many more. Dark Descent has around 90% of positive reviews, and people on Steam are saying that this is the perfect game for Alien Universe fans, and after the isolation, it's probably the best game about xenomorphs. Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. If you ever wanted to know who would win the battle between an army of armored ducks or one Chuck Norris, or between an angry Tyrannosaurus and John Wick, it is your game. Even if the main game lacks some heroes, mods have it all. 10,000 Obamas versus the same amount of ostriches? Sure. A Jedi versus 7 Jesuses? Of course, make it happen. Also keep in mind that the technology here lets you generate hundreds of thousands of units at the same time, without frying your PC, and the requirements are not super high as well, so the game has it all, but that's kinda it. You will be entertained for a day, maybe two. Although I can say from my own experience, it will immerse you for hours, and your will must be legendary to just stage one epic battle, watch it, and go back to work. This ain't gonna happen, so be sure you have plenty of free time before installing. The Long Dark. When I look outside my window into the vast wilderness of North and Eastern Europe, I realize that I don't need games like that. I live in one of them. Snow, ice, and cold rules my land, and only the power of my heater keeps me alive. I have to pay 100 euros per month for it, but, you know, it's worth it. Not dying is great. And for the rest of you who are way more lucky with the climate, I should probably say that this game, despite sometimes being very relaxing, is kinda hard. You will starve, you will be thirsty, you will be cold, and you will be eaten by a bear, still while being alive, screaming and kicking, you know, with the rest of your body that is still not eaten at the moment. So with this joyful note, I must stress out that this is an amazing survival game with more than 90% of positive reviews on Steam. People are talking that this is an artistic masterpiece and one of the best games of the genre. The Outer Worlds. Somehow I always think that this game gets too little attention. It is definitely one of the best RPG games I have played in recent years. It is funny, it has secrets, many guns and places to explore. It's not just Fallout in space. I had more fun playing The Outer Worlds than I had playing Fallout 4. Even if this is a bit smaller game, I can absolutely give it 9 cold beers out of 10 and recommend it to you without a doubt. But I have to mention that it has some cons as well, like unbalanced difficulty. You know, at first you die a lot, but later everything else dies in seconds, even the strongest monsters. Then you may think,
hey, I will switch from hard to the hardest difficulty.
But you can't. You have to play the whole game on this hardest difficulty without switching it off, because developers decided to add some stupid achievements most of the players don't even care about. So you will feel overpowered all the time and you can't do anything about that. That's why I didn't buy and didn't play the last DLC. I already feel like a combat god, everything just dies when I blink. Tacoma. This is a sci-fi narrative adventure set aboard a high-tech space station in the year of 2088. You will explore every detail of how the station's crew lived and worked. You will have to find the clues and unravel the gripping story of trust, fear, and resolve in the face of disaster. At the heart of the space station is the facility's digital surveillance system. It has captured 3D recordings of pivotal moments of the crew's life on the station. To be honest, that is a bit creepy to intervene in someone's life like that. Some Big Brother experience, I'd say. So as you explore, the story starts to unfold. You'll use your ability to rewind, fast forward, and move through the physical space of these complex scenes. Examine events from every angle, reconstructing the multi-layered narrative as you explore. People on Steam are saying that the game is really interesting and the story is amazing. A very positive review score confirms that with ease. Red Dead Redemption 2. Here you are, an outlaw on the run, with federal agents and the best bounty hunters in the nation massing on your heels. You and your gang must rob, steal and fight your way across the heartland of America in order to survive. Well, the main story is all about that, but honestly all you will do here is free ride your horse all over the map, do casual quests for the NPCs you encounter, and will be occasionally killed by a bear. There is an urban myth that if you stay completely still in the game, the bear will leave you alone. I never tested that. I usually panic, shoot the bear to the leg or a butt, and, then I die. This game is serious, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's full of really funny unexpected events and situations. On the other hand, the story is decent and some of your actions have serious consequences. Like, shooting a bear to a butt will have consequences of your death. Main story will take about 50 hours from your boring life, and all the online content can take 10 times more. Those are the same creators as of GTA games. They really know how to pin your attention for a long time, so be sure you have it. Crowns and Pawns, Kingdom of Deceit. Are you ready for some hot point-and-click action? Yeah, I know, you probably are not, but this game, apart from an interesting story, is a proud owner of the Best Game Made in Lithuania in Year of 2022 award. Yeah, we are a small nation, AAA titles are rare. Honestly, there are none probably, but this indie game is actually good. The story follows a girl from Chicago who unexpectedly receives an inheritance from her grandfather, a house in Lithuania. She sets off to Europe, but upon arrival she is threatened by an unknown man demanding to give up her inheritance. So I don't know, maybe a member of the local mafia, but honestly there aren't any real mafia in my country. When we joined the European Union some 20 years ago, all the bad guys left for London, leaving Lithuania a crazy safe country, probably one of the safest in the entire Europe. Anyway, here it's up to you to crack the riddle of your inheritance and learn all the secrets. Creepy Tale. This is a hand-drawn short adventure game with creepy and at the same time lovely illustrations. Here suddenly everything turns into horror and drags you into a series of terrible events. Your brother has been kidnapped and you are left face to face with an ominous forest filled with dangers and strange creatures. You will have to solve the puzzles that you meet on the way. Do not let yourself be caught and save your brother. Also find out the dark story that befell the once calm and peaceful forest, turning it into a creepy place filled with evil. And by saying evil, I don't mean pineapple on pizza or in potato salad level of evil. Nothing is that evil. People are saying that this game is charming and will suffice as a bedtime story before you sleep. It's only 2.5 hours long, in other words, short enough to keep your attention the whole time. The Beast Inside. Here you'll play as a CIA employee, Adam, who leaves a huge city and moves to the countryside with his wife. All you need is to work in peace and silence on some secret military code that could change the outcome of the Cold War. So the countryside looks like a perfect choice. And as it turns out, absolutely unexpectedly, this area is quite opposite of a peaceful place. The game is basically a walking simulator, but in most dangerous situations you will be able to use your gun and shoot your way out. That is the worst part psychologically. When you are in an ominous environment and suddenly the game gives you a gun. You don't feel safer somehow, quite the opposite. The price is great, so if you like spooky walking sims, it's a must-get, I think. Othercide. Here you will lead your army of female warriors to battle. Your skill in combat will decide their fate, shape their abilities and personality. So under your command, they probably just die angrily in pain and agony. Anyway, jokes aside, like in all turn-based games, here you will have to plan your moves carefully, because one wrong action can lead your party to failure. Although the game offers cool mechanics where you can sacrifice one to heal another, survivors will get stronger, ready to fight the next battle. The bad news is that the game practices permadeath, so by sacrificing warriors, you are like sacrificing them for real. And the elephant in the room is, of course, the visuals of the game. Only black, white and red color palette exists here and makes this game stand out from other similar projects.
And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, the beard is so beautiful. Cold bear, let me touch your beard.
Get out.